Welcome back, boys and girls. And as you've seen it with this beautiful high point 1095 in 10mm carbine, I was able to shoot 1.5" true shot group at 50 yards and a little bit over 2" group at 100 yards. But I'm getting a little greedy, so I might do something really stupid. Now I'm hoping I can make this rifle shoot under 1" MOA at 75 yards. They will be perfect. I'm gonna try to free float the barrel of high point carbine. And here is my surgical tools. First thing that I notice is that I have to remove the scope because I have to flip that handle here for this to come apart. I have simply removed the scope ring with the scope on it, and now I can just put it back where it was before. First, make sure it's empty. Remove your magazine. You have to remove this pin first. Next, with the tool that came with the rifle, you want to flip this handle over. After that, you have to slide this out, but it's pretty tight. Next, you want to push that little pin toward the back and drop the pin through. Same in the one in the front as well. This is where my big medical book comes in handy. It was actually easier to puncture from the side than put that into that little hole. Okay, now we're going to drop the pin. Now they're both same pin, so you don't have to worry about the front or the rear. It's just the same thing. So, but just in case, I'm going to keep it separate. This is the rear, this is the front. And then we're going to use this tool again to remove the charging handle. Okay, looking at it, seems like in here, it's not really touching the barrel. The stock is not touching. But in the front, that's right there is touching. So I'm going to remove that. Okay, I have removed the rear and the front. This is what was touching. And except for the one point in the front, this is free floating. So I'm going to leave that there because that point supposed to barrel. But not only that, my Savage does the same thing and it's very accurate. So just having a 1 point that's touching to support the barrel, I think it should be fine. I'm not sure you could see this or not, but this is my Savage rifle, very accurate, and they say this barrel is free floating. But if you look at it in the front, where it's supposed to barrel, there's 1 point that's touching, and everything else is free floating. So I'm gonna assume that this is fine as well. But on the upper part, I'm gonna grind down a little bit so you'll be free floating as well. Now this is the upper part of the stock. That's where it's touching a little bit, so I'm gonna grind that down a little bit. That should do it. Okay, now I'm gonna put it back together. I don't know if you could see it or not, but now it's not touching the stock anymore on the top. It's just touching a little bit on the bottom. Okay, as you can see on the top, now it's not touching. It's just touching a too small point in the bottom. So I think it should do better. Okay, I got my carbine back together without breaking it. And then there's no more wear here. I just hope this thing will shoot better. But let's hit the range and find out. After free-throwing my barrel and shooting it, the result was beyond my expectation, and you could see it on my YouTube channel. I put the site on the description.